Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Making headlines this morning, a new legal setback for Donald Trump. A federal appeals court is now allowing the Justice Department to continue looking at classified documents found at Mar-A-Lago. How the former president is reacting.
A beautiful starry night out there, but very, very muggy. Mike is standing by with your Thursday forecast. Good morning, everybody. It's Thursday, the 22nd of September.
That's right. Thanks for joining us. Later today, it will officially be fall, but it will not feel like it.
Look at it this way. We'll wake up tomorrow morning with autumn on our minds, but not in
the air.
In the air at all. Yes.
At least, the humidity's down somewhat, but it's going to be really hot in the afternoon. That's what's allowing temperatures to really, one of the reasons why they're skyrocketing, because that dry air heats up so easily. So, yeah, it's, as I said and you were talking about, it's kind of summer's last laugh out there today as well as tomorrow going into the weekend. We got a lot of clear skies as of right now. 74 in town, but look at that, down to 61 right now in Comfort, 63 Bernie Stage. And, yeah, we still have some humidity when you step outside. It's not like pushing back or anything. Then go out into the hill country, and that's always kind of the threshold line right there. 60. Get below that, really comfortable. That's the situation in Comfort right now with that dew point of 56. 61 Bandera, Kerrville, Rio Medina, Hondo. Nice pleasant morning. Maybe even a light little sweatshirt or something for the kids out there in portions of the hill country. Mold, pigweed, ragweed are all on the low side. And this morning here in town, we'll knock down a couple of more notches, mostly clear skies, low 70s. So we're still going to be, though, that's, it's not bad, but still 5 degrees above normal. And then 99, that is 10 degrees above normal. Not a record, but we're looking at 99 tomorrow as well, which would tie the record. And boy, it's going to be a close call as far as hitting 100 for the next couple of days. I'm going to have the weekend forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Steph, Mark.
Thank you, Mike. We now know the name of a woman whose body was found in a ditch in Live Oak. She has been identified as 50-year-old Laura Braseno. That's according to the Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office. And as of right now, her cause of death is still pending. Her body was found on Monday afternoon in a ditch near the intersection of Judson and Topperwine Roads. Live Oak police say Braseno had no identifying information on her except for several tattoos.
A new legal setback for former President Trump. An appeals court has just handed the Justice Department a victory in the battle over documents seized at Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort.
The decision coming just hours after New York's Attorney General filed a $250 million lawsuit against Trump and his family in a separate case. And now Trump is responding. Here's ABC's Andrew Dimbert.
A new legal setback for former President Trump. A federal appeals court is now allowing the Justice Department to continue looking at classified documents found at Mar-a-Lago as investigators consider whether to bring criminal charges against Trump for storing top-secret records at his Florida home. The court saying Trump has presented no evidence that he declassified those records, an argument he tried to make again on Fox News last night.
If you're the president of the United States, you can declassify just by saying it's declassified, even by thinking about it.
In a separate case, New York's Attorney General is now suing Trump, 3 of his children, and the Trump Organization, accusing them of, quote, staggering fraud. AG Letitia James claims they overstated the value of nearly every major property Trump owns to get more favorable loans and other advantages to enrich themselves.
It is a tale of 2 justice systems, one for everyday working people and one for the elite.
According to the lawsuit, Trump valued Mar-a-Lago at $739 million, nearly 10 times higher than what it's really worth, $75 million. And the lawsuit claims Trump valued his New York City apartment at $327 million. James says it's worth only 1/3 of that amount. The Attorney General is seeking $250 million from the Trumps and wants to ban them from ever doing business in New York again.
It could be devastating for the Trump Organization and the Trump family members.
But critics of New York's Attorney General say she's overreaching with this lawsuit.
It's hard for me not to conclude it's a political hit job.
This is a civil lawsuit, not a criminal one, but James says she found evidence of potential bank fraud, so she sent her findings to federal prosecutors and the Manhattan DA. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
New overnight, an earthquake with a preliminary magnitude of 6.8 has caused buildings to sway in Mexico's capital and left at least 1 person dead. The earthquake struck early this morning, just 3 days after a 7.6 magnitude earthquake shook western and central Mexico, killing 2 people. The U.S. Geological Survey says the quake was centered west of Mexico City, near the Pacific coast. Mexico City's mayor said via Twitter there were no immediate reports of damage.
Breathalyzers in cars. The National Transportation Safety Board is recommending all new vehicles in the U.S. be required to have blood alcohol monitoring systems that can stop an intoxicated person from driving. The recommendation, if enacted, could reduce the number of alcohol-related crashes. The Safety Board said this week that roadway deaths in the U.S. are at a crisis level. Nearly 43,000 people killed last year, the greatest number in 16 years.
Recovery efforts are now underway in the Turks and Caicos Islands following Hurricane Fiona. Authorities said last night they are thankful that no lives were lost on the islands during the hurricane. However, there are reports of damage at Grand Turk Airport and other locations. The storm is expected to pass west of Bermuda tomorrow morning.
Divorced couples may now be able to separate their consolidated student loan debt and possibly qualify for student loan forgiveness. It's thanks to a bill just passed by Congress. Until 2006, married couples were allowed to consolidate their federal student loan debt into a single loan, but that made them jointly responsible for the debt even if they divorced. Survivors of domestic abuse, economic abuse, or borrowers who can't reach their other borrower will also be able to submit an individual application. The bill now heads to President Biden's desk for his signature. His administration has said it supports this legislation.
The time now, 4:36 and 72 degrees for now.
More than 200,000 people were hurt last year because of yard-related injuries. We have some important safety reminders as you get your home ready for fall in the coming months.
And the Texas Longhorns get set to meet up with the Red Raiders of Texas Tech. What head coach Steve Sarkisian is saying about several injuries to key players.
We do have a minor incident working right now, and I think it's over on the east. This is at 10 and Loop 410. Let's see, I-10 and 410 east. TxDOT reporting this area is Loop 410 eastbound at I-10.
And a quick look outside with a live cam. Not too bad in the 70s right now. We'll hit the 90s, flirting with triple digits maybe even later today. We'll be right back.
Pro football coverage powered by Davis Law Firm.
Welcome back. Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy confirms the release of former Warren High School football player Dennis Houston Monday was to make roster space for Michael Gallup's anticipated return. After making the 53-man roster, Houston played in the first 2 games of the regular season, but now McCarthy says they want to give Gallup every opportunity to work out this week after recovering from off-season ACL surgery to possibly play Monday against the Giants, but there are no guarantees. Houston Texans hits the road to Chicago for the next game this Sunday afternoon at noon. Quarterback Davis Mills, he has only 1 win in his short NFL career away from NRG Stadium. That's because he's faced several challenges playing on the road.
A lot of them are the first times I'm seeing new stadiums, so being able to handle the new environment, manage crowd noise, and effectively communicate at the line, those are big things. But, I mean, when it boils down to it, football is still football, so we just got to go out there and do our job.
The Bears are only 2.5-point favorites. When the Texas Longhorns face the Texas Tech Red Raiders Saturday, it appears they will be at full strength at quarterback. Starter Quinn Ewers has been back at practice this week after suffering a sprain in his left non-throwing shoulder against Alabama. And Hudson Card erased any doubts about his ankle when he galloped for a big 32-yard gain against UTSA.
They all practiced today, which is a positive. Okay, so that to me is a really good sign. You know, last Monday they didn't all practice, so to have the point to where we are today from the quarterback situation, they were all out there, which is a great sign. And it wasn't, you know, everybody was in there doing their team drills and different things. I think it's the progress that Quinn's making. I think it's HUD's ability to bounce back after playing Saturday and the ankle to feel good enough to go today. So and Malik had a good practice today as well. So a lot of positives there.
We will see how the Longhorns do Saturday starting at 2:30 p.m. Hard to believe we're already in week 5, and one of the big games in our big game coverage this Friday night will be the Marion Bulldogs against the Randolph Rohawks. Rohawks coming to this matchup with a perfect 4-0 record, ranked number 7 in 12's top 12 sub-5A poll with back-to-back shutouts against YMLA and Kennedy. The Bulldogs are 3-1 overall and featured just last week in our big game coverage road trip, where they scored a big bounce back victory over Karn City. Now these two teams meet to kick off play in District 13 3A Division 1.
It's a very important game. They beat us pretty good last year, so we need to go Friday night and take a good win.
Always sends a message. It's definitely because there's definitely teams in our district that I know they're overlooking us and they're being like, oh, we got it in our bag. This district is ours. But if we send a message with Marion, then every other team is just going to be like, oh, all right, we got to look out, and we're gonna go in strong. I know that for sure.
Kickoff tomorrow night, Rohawks Stadium set for 7 o'clock, and KSAT 12 Sports will be there.
Yes, they will. Time now, 4:43 and 72 degrees for now. Thousands of people visit the ER each year because of injuries that happened while working around the house. It's simple things you can do to avoid a trip to the hospital.
An increase in dog nappings across the country, what experts say is the key to keeping your pets safe from this disturbing new trend.
And welcome back. It's 4:45. Authorities across the country are warning pet owners about a spike in dog nappings. ABC's Rhiannon Alley has the details in today's GMA First Look.
In this morning's GMA First Look, dog nappings are on the rise. Watch. This is the moment a French bulldog named Milani was stolen from a California home by masked intruders in broad daylight. The armed suspect seen here running out the door with the Frenchie in hand, rushing to get into this silver Chevy Malibu and driving off.
The victim came home, interrupted the burglary. They attacked her. They hit her in the face with the gun. And then they kicked her.
And this isn't an isolated incident. Just last week, a litter of French bulldog puppies was stolen from a home by a pair of men in ski masks. The LAPD confirming to ABC that case is still open and active. And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll tell you what experts say is the key to keeping your pets safe from this disturbing new trend. With your GMA First Look, I'm Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
Right now is a good time to get the yard and home in shape as we get closer to fall. However, that also means people getting hurt.
Last year, nearly 262,000 people visited the ER for injuries they suffered while mowing, cutting branches, or power washing. Here's 12 on your side's Marilyn Morris with reminders to dodge the outdoor dangers.
When the yard needs sprucing up, it's tempting to just grab some tools and go. But Power Equipment sends a lot of weekend warriors to the ER.
Lawnmowers accounted for an estimated 70,000 injuries last year. A mower blade rotates thousands of times a minute and can turn a rock or dog toy into a dangerous projectile.
Before you mow, survey for rocks and branches, and always wear closed-toe shoes. When mowing hills, move across the slope, not up and down, except for riding mowers. On uneven terrain, they can be deadly when they tip over.
So unlike hand mowers, riding mowers should always move up and down slopes, not across, and never allow a child to ride with you.
Last year, there were 137,000 ER visits linked to ladders.
Set your ladder on level ground with the base 12 inches away from the wall for every 4 feet that the ladder reaches. The ladder should also extend 3 feet past your roof or workspace.
And while hedge trimmers are great for bushes, avoid using them while standing on a ladder. Use an extension model instead. And finally, when you break out the pressure washer, consider tossing the red Zero spray tip that may come with it. Watch what the power does to this carrot. And be aware of your surroundings so wandering children and pets don't get hurt. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
And let's take another look outside with TransGuide, looking at I-10 West at Loop 410 East. Scene looks a little different. I mean, maybe some movement there, but not. It's still blocked off.
I'm having a hard time picturing where this is exactly. Especially with, the sun's not up and there's no noticeable, identifiable, buildings in the background.
10 West, so you'd be heading out of town.
Okay. 10 West.
That said 10 West at 410 East. Okay. And so you're taking the ramp to the east.
Okay, so it is east of downtown?
That's 410.
It's just 410 eastbound, though.
Eastbound.
410 eastbound.
So that would be going out, Dave and Buster's on your left and all that, and then you would take that ramp.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Northwest, near Crossroads or Wonderland of the Americas.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And if I was having trouble, I know some other folks were too.
Okay, here is that interchange out there. Beautiful view. I love the picture of that rainbow out there over by College Station. And by the way, a real simple way, you can download the weather app or just scan that QR code right there. I'll give you a second to get out your phone, scan that, and that takes you right to the app. Very easy to download pictures that way. And we love all the pictures out there. I mean, it's fun to show them. And when there's weather going on, which there's not right now, but it's a great way to help tell the story and share that with other folks. Okay, out there by the airport, everything's moving along very well. Got a lot of clear skies right now. Humidity is down considerably in the hill country, 8-9 degrees or so compared to yesterday. The dew point temperatures are down, and that's much drier air as we were talking about. It's really comfortable with some of those dew points even in the 50s right now. We're actually down somewhat from yesterday. Same thing in New Braunfels, and with that dry air, it doesn't hold the heat in as well. Now, we did make it up to 95 yesterday, so we have dropped about 20 degrees. We'll bottom out right around 73 this morning, and then we're going to continue the warm up very quickly. So dry air heats up very easily. It doesn't take as much energy to heat it up. And that's why temperatures can just kind of soar. We're going to make it up into the low 90s already at noon. Again, put it in perspective. Normal high is 89 right now, and then we're going to top off at 99 later on today. The record's right around 101, pardon me, and so we're not going to hit that. Tomorrow's going to be a closer call to its respective record. And once again, with dew points in the 60s right now here in town, then they will be dropping off considerably. So, again, it's going to be more comfortable in the shade later on this afternoon. But then again, we've got those temperatures that are really going to be skyrocketing. All right, there is Hurricane Fiona. Yeah, I mean, just a classic picture. There's the well-defined eye right there. It's continuing to work its way up in toward Bermuda. Now, what we are watching, though, is this little batch of clouds right here, just about by the Lesser Antilles. And computer models, the spaghetti models, are already starting to pick that up. It's going to be working its way into the Caribbean over the weekend, and then just about to move into the Gulf of Mexico by late Monday. And still, most all models are in agreement. This thing's going to be staying in the central and eastern portion of the Gulf of Mexico, probably making landfall somewhere between, say, New Orleans and Panama City, just about there in Florida as it looks right now. Obviously, things can change, but we'll continue to keep an eye on that. Now, today, last full day of summer, and boy, oh boy, it's going to feel like it and then some. 92 at noon, sunny skies, high temperature makes it up to 99. And guess what? For the first full day of fall, let's celebrate with more summer weather. 99 tomorrow, 94 is over the weekend. There's a little bit of a wave trying to move on in here from the Gulf. I don't think it's going to do much of anything, but it'll knock temperatures down a few degrees, then knock a couple more off next week. A front comes through later on Monday. No sweaters, as we've been talking about, but at least it will be drier. So it will be more pleasant, especially in the mornings, first part of next week.
Will there be a collective cheer around 8 o'clock tonight from people just mentally
celebrating? Knowing it's fall. Yes, I think I'll stay up for that.
I don't know, just because it's still going to be, in the 90s.
I say we make hot chocolate in vain. Okay?
Indoors.
And then put a couple ice cubes in it.
Put a couple of ice cubes in it. All right, thank you, Mike. 4:53, 72 degrees.
And the She-Hulk actress shares why she thinks her role is so important. Plus, another season of The Kardashians starts today.
A big television producer celebrates turning 100, and a supporting actress talks about her role in She-Hulk.
For the latest in what's happening in Hollywood, here's ABC's Jason Nathanson.
If only he could remember any of our names.
It's one of the most star-studded birthday parties in history. Tonight, the broadcast of Norman Lear, 100 Years of Music and Laughter. The legendary TV producer turned 100 in July, saying he knows the secret to longevity.
I have long felt that music and laughter adds time to one's life. It certainly has added time to my life.
Norman Lear, 100 Years of Music and Laughter, premieres tonight on ABC.
Hello, I'm Jamila Jamil.
Who is Titania? Jamila Jamil plays the villain on She-Hulk, attorney at law, a baddie from the comics who may be new to some people. Jamil tells me Titania is the worst kind of person, an influencer, and she's thrilled to be in her shoes.
And I am very excited to play a South Asian villain. I get to be unique and nuanced and interesting and complex.
A new episode of She-Hulk is out today on Disney+. Disney's the parent company of ABC News.
You have no idea how iconic this is. You just have no idea.
Also new today, it's season 2 of The Kardashians on Hulu.
Why would I?
And speaking of She-Hulk, the show's star Tatiana Maslany is 37 today, while Harry Potter star Tom Felton is 35. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Los Angeles.
457, 72 degrees.
The Russian president's threat of a nuclear response in Ukraine is fueling tensions ahead of today's United Nations Security Council meeting. How President Biden is reacting to the situation.
Plus, experts from 2 San Antonio area universities explain the recent increase in migrants seeking asylum from Venezuela, Cuba, and Nicaragua.
And a quick look at the roads with TransGuide. There's that camera we were looking at earlier. It is clear. That incident over there at I-10 West at Loop 410 East. And Stephen Cavazos is in the house. We'll be checking in with him very soon.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
You could earn a cash reward up to $5,000. All you have to do is help out San Antonio police. We'll tell you how coming up on GMSA.
I'm ABC's M1 in Washington. President Biden and Ukrainian President Zelensky addressing the United Nations after the latest threats from Russian President Vladimir Putin about the war. The details coming up.
And outside with live cam, 72 degrees. That's better this morning overall. Still a bit muggy out there. It's been a beautiful night. Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, September 22nd.
Thanks for joining us this morning. We hope you've had a wonderful week, and we hope you're excited that in your mind you can say it's fall later tonight.
That's right. Mike, autumn officially arrives at?
Just after 8 o'clock
8
tonight.
o'clock.
Yeah. So, just think about it, I guess. Like, it's all mind over matter, we think. Something like that. But it's going to be hot. I keep saying this is summer's last laugh out here just because it's going to be, one of the hottest days we've seen in more than a month. Going back to about the first week of August when we had some of those triple-digit readings. 73 right now, dew points at 69, so that's not bad. Not much of a breeze to deal with as of right now. 99 high temperatures today. That is going to be roughly 10 above normal. And then as far as the aquifer, it took a hit yesterday, down 0.7 of a foot. Allergens, we do have just a trio. Mold, pigweed, and ragweed are all on the low side. So we've got some clear skies, and as the clear skies allow temperatures to drop with a little moisture down there along the coastal plain, we're seeing just a couple of spots of some fog, hint of it around Gonzales. Victoria has some fog, so if you are heading off to the east or southeast this morning, you may run into just a bit of that. So mostly clear. We'll call it nice, especially in the hill country. It's very pleasant in the hill country right now with some lower humidity, and then sunny, hot. Same thing tomorrow, both days, upper 90s. We're looking at 99 both days. Tomorrow, 99 will tie the record. Like I said, today will be just a little bit below that. And then over the weekend, mostly sunny, mid 90s. We trim temperatures 4 or 5 degrees, still way above normal. We'll take 4 or 5 degrees though, and then knock off another 4 or 5 degrees. There's a cool front. Yeah, we're calling it a cool front. It will knock temperatures back down closer to normal readings. Pull some drier air in here, but nope, no sweaters yet. It'll have some pleasant mornings, though, next week. Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Stephen Cavazos, morning. What's going on, sir?
Well, we did have some flashing lights out there near 410. We saw it on the TransGuide camera a little bit earlier, Mike, but let's get a quick look around town. That situation has already cleared out as we went to commercial break. We saw a much better situation, but as we take a quick look, there's I-10 at De Zavala, 35 at Benz Engelman. Traffic's been pretty quiet this morning. Of course, that isolated incident was over off I-10 near Crossroads. That, again, has cleared out. So drivers, if you make your way through the area, you won't find any flashing lights out there. But of course, you'll see a few folks getting their morning started early with us. So just remember, drive safe, follow the rules of the road. Let's just take you to the map because not a lot to show you out there as well. We do have a lot of road closures to talk about. And as the morning does progress and if it does stay quiet, we'll continue to bring you that information. But of course, you know where to find that. That's ksat.com/traffic. Otherwise, things are looking like they're in the clear. And that is the same situation if your travels are going to take you right here to the Alamo City 280. I-10, that journey from Boerne looks like 24 minutes at this hour in the eastbound lanes of I-10. 27 minutes, 281 southbound if you're heading in from Bulverde, so don't hurry there. And a 25-minute drive time, 35 coming in from the southbound lanes from New Braunfels. Not too awful, 25 minutes, guys. So we are in the green so far. Again, some light moving traffic there at 281 and 1604. We'll watch the roads closely and have those updates. Looks like something may be going on off of US 90. I'll call our friends at TransGuide and find out what that is, and we'll give you those updates coming up. Guys?
Thank you, Stephen. New this morning, San Antonio police say a man was run over and killed while riding his bike last night. Happened just before 10 p.m. at the intersection of Culebra and Arcadia Creek on the city's west side. SABD says the man in his 40s was riding his bike on Culebra when someone in a vehicle hit him. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Police say the driver did not stop to help. So far, no word on a suspect or vehicle description. This morning, San Antonio police trying to find two men who used a gun and a wooden dagger to force a cashier to give them money.
Camelia Juarez joins us live at the Circle K where this all happened. Good morning, Camelia.
Good morning, Mark, Stephanie. San Antonio police are offering a cash reward for any information that leads to an arrest for these two suspects. Take a look at your screen. San Antonio police say on September 9th, the two men walked into a Circle K on Blanco Road with a handgun and what police describe as a makeshift wooden dagger. Police say they threatened the cashier with the gun, saying they would shoot him if he did not give them money from the register. Then the two men took off with the money. Police and Crime Stoppers are offering a cash reward up to $5,000. If you have any information on these two men, call Crime Stoppers. That number is on your screen. It's 210-224-STOP. Camelia Juarez, KSAT 12 News.
This morning, U.S. Department of Homeland Security is seeing an increase in migrants seeking asylum from Venezuela, Cuba, and Nicaragua. Data released from DHS this week shows a 175% increase compared to August of last year. We spoke with a political science expert from UTSA and an economics expert from Trinity University. They say the change could be tied to a current Biden administration policy as well as global inflation.
Mexico agreed to not allow migrants from Honduras, Venezuela, from El Salvador, and from Central America to come to the United States. But there's nothing in the agreement about Nicaragua, Cuba, and Venezuela.
Venezuela has had enormous inflation rates, thousands of %. So people flee that kind of situation.
As of now, the Biden administration has not announced any plans to approach this influx differently compared to others in the past.
There are calls for change at Jefferson High School. That's where parents rushed the campus during a lockdown earlier this week. Now, district leaders say they have learned from the experience. The SAISG superintendent and district police chief say they are pleased with the protocols, the way they were executed, but that they want to improve communication with parents. One mother tells us that a school phone policy is to blame for some of the problems.
I couldn't get a hold of him, and if it was an active shooter, what if he was one that got shot and I wouldn't have known? Like, it's not okay. It's not okay to take their phones away. It's not, especially what happened at Robb Elementary. It's not okay. It's just.
And the superintendent says this policy is decided by each school, the staff, and parents.
President Joe Biden is criticizing Russian President Vladimir Putin and his 7-month-long invasion of Ukraine.
Biden's UN speech was fueled by Putin's latest threat of a nuclear response, despite repeated warnings from the U.S. and NATO against just that. ABC's M. Nguyen has the latest from Washington.
President Joe Biden taking to the world stage to forcefully condemn Russian President Vladimir Putin and his war in Ukraine.
This war is about extinguishing Ukraine's right to exist as a state, plain and simple, and Ukraine's right to exist as a people. That should make your blood run cold.
Biden rallying the United Nations to continue to support Ukraine following a rare address by Putin. After several setbacks in Ukraine, Putin making a veiled threat that Russia is willing to use nuclear weapons despite repeated warnings against that escalation from Biden and other Western leaders.
He wants to scare the world. He wants the world to think he's a madman. Don't push me or I'll use nuclear weapons.
The Russian leader also ordered ordering a partial mobilization of forces, calling up as many as 300,000 reservists to the war, a clear sign that things are not going well.
I think it's the first time he's had to publicly admit that he is losing the war.
The move sparking protests in at least 40 cities across Russia, including in Moscow, with more than 1,400 arrested. Many also scrambling to buy one-way plane tickets out of the country.
This now becomes an issue directly for the Russian people in a way that it hadn't been before.
And Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky also addressing the UN by video, demanding a just punishment for Russia, saying Russia should be stripped of its veto power on the UN Security Council.
Russia should pay for this war.
The UN Security Council is holding a meeting later this morning focused on the accountability in Ukraine. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is expected to speak. M. Nguyen, ABC News, Washington.
Back here at home, happening today, Edgewood ISD is hosting a job fair. They're looking to hire for positions in the Edgewood Police Department. The job fair is from 2 to 6 p.m. today at Edgewood Performing Arts Theater off of Lance Street. Open positions come with police certification stipends, a starting pay of $21 an hour for police officers.
Also happening today, peripheral artery disease is something thousands deal with every day, and several organizations in San Antonio are hoping to help. The City of San Antonio Metropolitan Health District and Department of Human Services is partnering with several other organizations to host a resource fair and free screening. This is for the peripheral artery disease and social determinants of health. The citywide event is happening from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. today at 7 different districts across town. No pre-registration is required. We have the list of those locations on our website at ksat.com.
Time check, 5:11, 72 degrees.
And reducing staff, why Google and Meta are reportedly looking at ways to cut costs.
Plus, if you're still looking for your symphony fix, we're taking a look at 2 other local symphonic organizations quickly getting a bigger following.
And a quick look outside with live cam. Pretty calm right now at 72 degrees. Things will heat up today and also tomorrow, even though fall officially begins this evening. We'll be right back.
Quebec 514, San Antonio is rich with music and artists. If you're looking for a feel of symphonic music, several grassroots organizations are gaining audiences and respectable reputations.
The South Texas Symphonic Orchestra is a full-level orchestra of 70 artists that put on concerts at different venues around the community. The nonprofit group operates through donations and fundraisers. And meanwhile, Seguin and New Braunfels support the Mid-Texas Symphony. Now, the Mid-Texas Symphony operates on a small budget. However, they have been gaining a bigger following as the rural communities grow in population.
We started 5 years ago with the idea, what if we asked trained musicians, high caliber, talented players to play in an orchestra for free? Would anybody show up? And they did.
We're grassroots and we're small but mighty as an organization. And our communities are smaller but growing by percentage, really amazingly.
And these artists say there is a hunger for this type of music, and they may want to be able to expose different communities to their art.
5:15, 72 degrees.
Meta is developing new user controls for Instagram to block inappropriate content.
So, how many vaccines have you given to people?
Me, about 1,000. Walgreens, millions.
I cannot miss our big debut.
With your booster, I think you'll be there for every twirl.
Got a shot so my sister won't get sick.
Way to go, big bro.
So while we're here,
Flu shot as well? Let's do it.
When you need to talk vaccinations, our pharmacists are here.
Honey, what's Guy Fieri doing at the neighbor's house?
It's Slider Sunday! Everyone grab a King's Hawaiian slider!
Slider Sunday?
Slider Sunday! We got Philly cheesesteak sliders on King's Hawaiian slider buns.
Oh my.
And we've got cheeseburger sliders on King's Hawaiian pretzel slider buns. Slider Sunday! Everything's better between King's Hawaiian bread, especially now with King's Hawaiian pretzel buns.
Maybe next time use the gate.
All right, time check, just about 5:19. Let's get a quick look at that morning commute. 281 at Grayson. Things have been pretty quiet for the last 15 minutes or so, but we get a quick look around town there. You can see that traffic is picking up in some of these locations. 10 West at 410. I have a few folks out there this early in the morning, but I wouldn't say there's anything to be concerned about just yet. We know things can definitely just pop up there on the roadways and obviously cause issues for anyone that has to hit the roads in the next few minutes. But thankfully, as we take you to the map, it's really just going to be a lot of that active construction and road closures that you're going to see this early in the morning. Let's take a look here. So this is something that I want you to be aware of. State Highway 16 over just outside Loop 1604, otherwise known as Bandera Road. We continue to see barrier work take place. It actually started on Sunday, September 18th, and we'll see that continue up until Friday, September 23rd. It does begin at 9 in the evening to 5 in the morning. So late night owls, early bird commuters, plan your commute ahead of time. Alternating lane closures in both directions from Loop 1604 to Diamond K Trail is what you can expect to see out there. But as I mentioned, you know where to find that information. KSAT.com/traffic. You can head over there for a full list of closures. Guys?
Nice quiet start to the day so far, Stephen.
Yes, we'll take it. Thank you.
Hopefully it stays that way.
Yeah.
Yes, we hope so.
All right, scan that QR code if you want to find an easy way to download some pictures. Nice shot there of the ducks enjoying a little stroll in the afternoon. Boy, some green grass. That's unusual to see. And what's so unusual about the ducks, or not unusual? Work with me here, folks.
It's
all the ducks are in a row?
More or less.
I was like, are they crossing the road? No, that's a chicken.
5:20, it's early still. So, hey, we've got some clear skies right now. Do what?
You got to warm us up a bit.
Got some clear skies out there right now. Really, really pleasant out in portions of the hill country. Bernie Stage 63, 61 right now at Comfort, 73 in town. So we're still 5 degrees above normal. Humidity is not bad. Well, the exception Canyon Lake, but everybody else is down in the 60s. And when you get low 60s, you get close to that threshold where below 60 is very comfortable. 62 Bulverde, erroneous reading up there in Comfort right now, but Bernie Stage 61, 60 Kerrville. So yeah, really nice in the hill country this morning. We are going to be right around the low 70s throughout the rest of the morning, and then warms up very quickly. Dry air heats up very quickly, more so than moist air does. And so we'll already be up to 92 degrees at noon, already about 3 above the normal high temperature. And then we're going to top off at 99 later on today. That'll be just a couple of degrees away from the record for today's date. Obviously, nothing is showing up on the satellite picture as of right now. And around the country, a lot going on just up to the north of us, to the northwest, but notice this big sort of clockwise rotation around here. That's the high, which is sitting just about right on top of us right now. And this is, I mean, if it's deja vu to back May, June, July, yeah, that's what the situation was then, with that thing sitting on top, just kind of pushing down on the atmosphere. And that's why it's going to be so hot today as well as tomorrow. Now, what happens over the weekend? There's a little bit of a kind of a wave trying to develop right here. We call them an easterly wave that comes in. That's going to, it's not going to do much, but that's going to help to knock temperatures down a couple of degrees as we go in toward the weekend. So we'll take anything. That's going to be Sunday and Monday. And then Monday, there is somewhat of a front between that low up there in the Great Lakes or southern Canada and this high, a bit of a front that's going to try and work its way on through here. That is what's going to knock some of the humidity on out of here and get us down closer to normal readings. Then we're going to start to watch that low coming in here from the Caribbean into the Gulf of Mexico, and it's going to be kind of a shoving match between the high and the low, and that should keep it off to the east of us, which is what most computer models are looking at as of right now. Obviously, bears watching for about the next week. 92 at noon today. Sunny skies. Boy, it's going to be a hot one. At least the humidity is going to be dropping down later on this afternoon, so it will be slightly more pleasant in the shadows. And then tomorrow, for the first full day of fall, yeah, that doesn't look anything like fall. 99, mid-90s over the weekend. And then the front's going to move through later on Monday. I think right before that, it's still pretty hot, but then we drop to around 90. Still a couple of degrees above normal. More pleasant, though, with lower humidity middle of next week.
Lower humidity sounds great.
Yeah, and today, low humidity, but 99. So
99.
That's a difference.
There's always a trade-off. Yeah, it'll work in our favor at some point.
By the way, tomorrow's record is 99. So just
oh, so there we go. Icing on the cake. Thank you, Mike. 523, 72 degrees.
Look at your winning lotto numbers. Pick 330, Fireball 9, Daily 4, 7553, Fireball 7.
Cash 5 numbers 12, 15, 23, 25, 28. Lotto Texas 7, 13, 21, 27, 50, and 54. Powerball 6, 33, 34, 45, 54. Powerball 7, Power Play 2. You know, somebody finally picked up the big over $1 billion jackpot yesterday. 2 people came forward, but they obviously can remain anonymous. They took home about $780 million lump sum.
Wow.
Be right back.
Understandable.
In today's Tech Bites, 2 tech giants are reportedly cutting staff with growth now slowing down. The Wall Street Journal reports Google and Facebook's parent Meta are both looking to slash costs. They're reorganizing departments and urging some workers to apply for other roles in the company. Meta says it's developing optional user controls for Instagram to help protect users from unwanted and inappropriate content, including messages in their DMs. The tools are still in the early stages of development and have yet to enter the testing phase. Finally, Ted Lasso and his AFC Richmond team will be part of the upcoming FIFA 23 game. The team will be available in several game modes, including one where you can take on the role of Ted Lasso himself. FIFA 23 kicks off September 30th. Just a warning to gamers, if you pick Lasso's club and play PSG, things could get messy. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
Lionel Messi, I get it. Yeah. Still waiting to find out when season 3 is going to come out of Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
Right now, 528, 72 degrees.
It's 94 days until Christmas, Mike. How Walmart's already getting ready and needs a little help from some dedicated holiday workers.
From student loans to holiday travel, this month a good time to start thinking about the end of the financial year. Ahead on GMSA at 6, simple money moves you can make now to help you have a good end to 2022.
A driver's attempt to get away from police leaves several people hurting. There was a crash right in this intersection. I'm Katrina Weber, and I'll tell you what police have learned about why he ran in the first place.
And taking a look outside with live cam, we're at 72 degrees right now, but we're going to be close to 99 today. I guess that's one way to celebrate the beginning of fall.
Yeah, near record territory does not cut it. Good morning, everybody. It's Thursday, September 22nd.
Thanks for joining us. Let's get over to Mike and talk about the warm fall we're going to have this evening.
Yeah, fall begins about 8 o'clock tonight, just after that, the official...
warm fall is like an oxymoron, isn't it?
Well, not down here necessarily.
Not here in San Antonio.
I'm not. Does it just seem like summer's kind of going? I'm gonna
yes, very much so.
After this hot summer, 58 days of triple-digit temperatures officially here in town. It's going to be really close the next couple of days. We're at 73 right now. Dew point 69, so it's not bad as far as the humidity is concerned. Not much of a breeze to speak of. We've got some low 60s in the hill country. 72 Stinson, 75 still Canyon Lake, and humidity. Other than Canyon Lake, everybody's down in the 60s as far as dew point temperatures, sort of the measure moisture in the atmosphere. And when you get down in the low 60s from Bulverde over toward Rio Medina out in the hill country, yeah, that's not bad at all. We do have 3 allergens, mold, pigweed, ragweed, all on the low side. The updated count's going to come out about 7:30 or so this morning. 84 at 10 o'clock. 92 at noon. So we're already going to be 3 degrees above normal by noon. And then we top off at 99 later on today. No record today. That's up in the low hundreds. But tomorrow, probably going to be tying a record of 99 again. What about the weekend? Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority. Anything going on, Stephen?
Well, first, it may not feel like fall, but it is still pumpkin spice season. So there's that. There's some consolation there. And thankfully, not a lot going on here. We can get a look there at TransGuide 35 in Martin. You can see there, not a lot to show you. It's just a few folks making their way on by. Lots of pavement out there, which indicates some quiet roadways, obviously. And we take you to the map, and there it is. Just a quiet map. We're seeing just some active road closures. We'll We'll continue to talk about that throughout the morning. But other than that, the commute's been off to a pretty decent start for this Thursday morning. We take you to those travel times, and let's check that out, because here we're also looking like we're in the green. 29 minutes I-10 westbound traveling in from Seguin. You have to expect about that amount of time. A little more than half an hour, 33 minutes if you're traveling up 87 northbound coming in from Lavernia, and 28 minutes on I-37 northbound traveling in from Floresville, even if you're traveling up 181. So again, no need to rush out the door if you plan to hit to the roads to head to the Alamo City, but of course always drive carefully. We take it back to TransGuide. The roads have been quiet this morning, but we know that can change pretty quickly. We'll watch things closely, and as always, keep your eyes on the road as well. Guys.
Thank you, Stephen. New this morning, San Antonio police say as many as 5 people may have injuries as a result of one driver's actions. They say he tried to get away from them and caused 2 crashes, one of them intentionally. Katrina Weber is live where it all happened at the intersection of Cervalvo Street and Couples Road. And Katrina, we know this happened a while ago. Are you still seeing any sign of the mess?
Yeah, there are a few. Just down the street, we can see the remains of some burned out road flares. And here we have sand on the ground. Firefighters put this down to try to soak up some of the fluids from those wrecked cars. Now, as for the people involved, they are banged up and bruised, if not hurt worse. 2 of them, who it seems were just in the wrong place at the wrong time, had to be freed from their car by fire crews. Police say they were at the intersection of Cervalvo and Couples around 10:30 last night when a car they were trying to stop crashed into the car with those 2 people inside. Officers had noticed that vehicle was stolen when they saw it in the area of Guadalupe Street. They say the driver ran their patrol car and took off. He then made his way to this intersection where he ran into the car with those 2 innocent people inside. Now, those victims and the suspect all had to go to a hospital for treatment. Police say the 2 officers in the patrol car that was rammed also had to be checked out for injuries. Now, it looks like this is still all under investigation, but that driver who they say tried to get away from them, looks like he will be facing a whole list of charges. Reporting live on the west side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Katrina, thanks for your report. This morning, former President Trump is on the defensive. A federal appeals court says the Justice Department can resume its review of classified documents seized from his Florida home.
And as CNN's Amy Kiley reports, the New York Attorney General's office is suing him for what it claims is fraud.
I don't think this is prosecutable.
That's former President Donald Trump talking about one of 2 probes that took major steps forward yesterday. A federal appeals court panel ruled the Justice Department can resume its criminal review of classified documents seized from his home. Its ruling echoes DOJ concerns about national security risks.
The courts don't get involved in second-guessing that kind of information.
As for this argument,
if you're the president of the United States, you can declassify just by saying it's declassified, even by thinking about it.
The appellate judges didn't buy it. Meanwhile, in New York,
Donald Trump falsely inflated his net worth by billions of dollars.
The state attorney general filed a civil suit against Trump and others. She alleges he fraudulently obtained loans by inflating the value of his assets on applications, among other schemes.
We have a disclaimer right on the front. And it basically says, get your own people, you're at your own risk.
Michael Cohen used to be Trump's attorney. He made allegations similar to those in the New York lawsuit while testifying before a House committee in 2019.
What he would do is say, well, I'm worth $6 billion. The more I think about it, I'm worth 10. So figure out how to make the personal financial statement from the year before $10 billion.
Amy Kiley, KSAT 12 News.
U.S. Army is working to improve how it handles sexual assault and harassment. The Undersecretary of the Army says the military branch has implemented most of the recommendations from a 2020 Fort Hood report. A report ordered after the death of several people on post, including 20-year-old soldier Vanessa Guillen. It found that Army investigators tasked with reviewing complex crimes were inexperienced, overwhelmed, and understaffed. In response, the Army established the Office of the Special Trial Counsel. It also removed commanders from making decisions related to the prosecution of certain crimes like rape and sexual assault.
The U.S. House has passed a bill designed to prevent another Capitol riot-type incident by changing the Electoral Count Act. The legislation was sponsored by two key members of the House Select Committee in response to the attempt to overturn the election. Republican Liz Cheney of Wyoming and Democrat Zoe Lofgren of California believe it will help ensure peaceful transitions of power. The bill will still have to be reconciled with legislation in the U.S. Senate, but it remains to be seen if the Senate will be able to take it up before the midterms.
New report shows progress against cancer, with people in the U.S. surviving more than ever before. The American Association for Cancer Research found that past 3 years, the number of cancer survivors living in the U.S. increased by more than 1 million. As of January, there were 18 million cancer survivors in America. The association says that number is expected to increase to 26 million by 2040. For all cancers combined, the 5-year overall survival rate has increased from 49% in the mid-1970s to nearly 70% from 2011 to 2017. The report credits progress against cancer to fewer people smoking and improvements in catching and treating cancer early.
And time now, 5:39 and 71 degrees for now.
American Airlines making things a little more fancy for its premium customers. We'll tell you about the airline's new suites with privacy doors.
And it's 71 degrees for now. Looking out there with live cam, we are expecting to hit near the triple digits, like 99 today, and a warm weekend, but maybe a little bit of relief next week. We'll be right back. And welcome back. It's 5:42. In your morning consumer headlines, American Airlines is giving its long-haul fleet a makeover. So the airline is adding new premium suites with privacy doors on all of its Airbus long-range aircraft and Boeing Dreamliners. American says the new suites will have more personal space, direct aisle access, and seats that can lie flat. The airline also plans to add more premium economy seating to its long-haul planes. Premium economy allows for double the amount of in-seat storage space and has larger in-seat screens, as well as headrest wings for more privacy. American Airlines says it hopes to make the upgrades available to customers starting in late 2024.
Walmart will be adding 40,000 workers this holiday season, and although that number may seem high, it's actually down from last year. Retailers are expecting a much slower holiday season this year. Inflation has taken a toll on shoppers, and retailers are overstocked on products such as clothing, televisions, and furniture. Some of the jobs open will include temporary and full-time store workers, truck drivers, and customer call support staff. Walmart raised its minimum wage to $12 an hour last year. That's still below rivals such as Target and Amazon.
Time now, 5:43 and 71 degrees for now.
San Antonio Humane Society has a cute little puppy you might want to take home today. That's coming up next.
Aw. Quick look at the roads with TransGuide, looking there at I-10 at Hackberry, where things are moving. I was also looking at I-10 West at Loop 410. Things look good so far. We'll be checking in with Stephen Cavazos very soon.
Look at the little, oh, you've got like grayish blue eyes too. Oh, and that nose. Hi, and no puppy. Lucy's here from the San Antonio Humane Society. This little boy, what a sweetie.
So sweet. Look at him. Just the cutest little baby. This is Flan.
Flan, just like the dessert, because he's so sweet.
He's so sweet, exactly. Exactly, add some sweetness to your life. Yes, he's a 2-month-old pitty puppy.
Yes.
Adorable as can be. Look at those ears. He's loving all the little pets.
Oh my goodness gracious, how cute are you?
Look at the little face.
And that's nice little short coat, easy to take care of. He'll be a decent sized dog and plenty of energy, but again, good little guy to run around the backyard with and go for a walk with, aren't you?
Yes, be ready for lots of playtime and snuggles with this little boy.
Crinkly little ears. He was all wrapped up in a towel, so he's not happy right now because he was just snug as a bug in a rug. So what y'all got going on?
So we're very excited. We're celebrating 70 years since we first opened in 1952. So to celebrate, we're going to be hosting our 70th anniversary, Connecting Friends for Life, on October 25th from 6 to 8. So we're inviting the whole community to please be a part of it. We're so excited. We want to hear, we want to share our history, our past, our present, and our future. And there's many ways to get involved. You can either celebrate by adopting, becoming a volunteer, fostering, or if you want to support our event directly, you can make a donation directly for our event. We also have sponsorships available, limited tickets as well. to attend the event, but all of that.
Where's it going to be?
So it's going to be at our main campus at 4804 Fredericksburg Road from 6 to 8.
Okay, so mark that on your calendar right now, and if this guy doesn't get done kissing Lucy, you can adopt him and he'll kiss you too. So 4804 Fredericksburg Road, 226-7461.
Yes.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you.
I'm jealous. Jealous that you got to
I know.
get puppy scritches in. Did you go to Buja Buja?
I think
he did a little bit.
Okay.
He did a little bit.
548.
Let's go ahead and check back with Stephen Cavazos. Things look okay out there, Stephen.
Yeah, the Buja Buja Buja. Is that what we're calling it?
Oh my goodness.
That's okay. Dr. Doolittle. You know, we may not understand, but the pets do, and they look happy. So, you know what? We're looking happy over here. Traffic's been pretty quiet this morning. I-10 West at Loop 410, though, it's getting busier, and that's always expected. We're inching closer to that busy time. I know we had our hands full. Mike had his hands full yesterday talking about some traffic issues. Today, completely different story. We don't have any major problems to report on the map. So you can see there just a lot of those road closures this morning, and that's really what you need to be on the lookout for, especially overnight and into the days as we get closer to October. But let's talk about what we're going to continue to see here off 281. Now, this hasn't started yet, this portion at least, but we know that there's a lot of work that typically takes place along 281. Bridge work, of course, and we're going to see that work continue on Thursday, September 29th. That should wrap up, according to TxDOT, that portion on Friday, September 30th. Again, overnight, 8 in the evening to 5 in the morning, and we know that's a pretty busy area, so plan your commute ahead of time. What you'll see out there is a full closure of the intersection at Overlook Parkway. Again, that information on our website, ksat.com/traffic. We did get back to TransGuide, where the commute is definitely picking up there at I-10 West. Of course, we'll watch the roads closely, and hopefully things can stay quiet up until we get to our destination.
You know, you said that the animals understand that, or else they're going, what's he saying?
What the heck?
Speak normal.
Yeah. Which is likely.
They're
Right, but
Mike,
they like the attention.
Yeah, that's right. Mike, once a year I say this, and I mean it today. Somebody needs to buy Mother Nature a calendar.
Yeah, no kidding.
And a nice gift.
Yeah,
exactly. And a nice gift.
Yeah, something. So, because it's not going to feel like anything like fall. We have, gorgeous picture of the moon, that little waning crescent. It's going to be new moon on the 25th. And of course, if you have a second here, grab your phone, snap that QR code. I'll get my hand out of the way so you can get a clean picture of it. And that will take you right to the KSAT Connect, and you can download pictures and put them on KSAT Connect so we can show them. But thank you very much for that. Or just download the app. And I was going to say you can check radar, even though there's not going to be anything going on with that for the next week or more. Right now, we've got some clear skies out there. And speaking of not having to check radar and what's going to be going on, Climate Prediction Center, the 6 to 10 day outlook going into the first couple of days of October. And this doesn't mean it's going to be on the warm side, but just the odds of it being above normal are a little bit better than a 50-50 chance. And as far as any precipitation, the chances of that are below normal, at least less than 50-50 chance of having any sort of precipitation. Then we go into roughly the first week of October, still leaning toward being on the warmer side, and odds are being that it's going to stay on the dry side as well. Today, that's the situation. It's going to be warm and dry. Well, at least we have low humidity, and that's what's allowing temperatures to drop into the 60s in parts of the hill country and then warm up very, very quickly, which dry air does. 92 already at noon, so already 3 above the normal high temperature, and then we top off at 99 later on today, and they're going to be the same situation tomorrow. All right, here's what's going on with Hurricane Fiona, still a Category 4 storm. Classic looking satellite picture, looking down on it, but looking into it. Hurricane Hunter aircraft went into it yesterday, the Air Force C-130, and this is what it's like flying into a massive storm with winds that were about 130, last I checked, about 130 miles per hour, or even stronger than that at times. And boy, these things just get bounced around, but those are the ones that they can pinpoint where the center of it is, and they fly at all different altitudes. And the Department of Defense says that the WC-130 Super Hercules was taking that flight in there yesterday, flew inside, and it's a sign of the 53rd Weather Reconnaissance Squadron, by the way, at Keesler Air Force Base in Mississippi. Thank you for your, I don't know if I'd want to fly on one of those or not.
Yeah, you do. You would.
Sure.
You would do it.
That'd be a heck of a ride. All right, we are looking at that batch of clouds there right around the Lesser Antilles, and computer models are already starting to pick up, moving in through the Caribbean over the weekend into the Gulf of Mexico first of the week, but most all models have it staying to the mid to eastern portion, making landfall mid to eastern portion of the Gulf Coast and staying away from us as we go in toward next week. So obviously, though, that's going to be something we have to keep an eye on. 92 at noon, sunny skies, high temperatures going to make it up to 99 later on today. Plenty of sunshine, low humidity, so it will be somewhat more comfortable in the shade. Same thing tomorrow for the first full day of fall. Anything but that. And then mid-90s over the weekend, so at least knock a few degrees off, knock a few more degrees off by the middle of the week with a very weak cool front that's going to move on through here just to knock out some more humidity.
A weak cool front, we'll take it.
This ain't fall.
No.
Well, for here it is. Yeah.
Thank you, Mike. 5:53, 71 degrees.
Look at your winning lotto numbers. We have pick 3330, Fireball 9, Daily 4, 7553, Fireball 7.
Cash 5 numbers 12, 15, 23, 25, 28. Lotto Texas 7, 13, 21, 27, 50, and 54. Boy, wouldn't those temperatures be nice? 50 to 54 degrees. And Powerball 6, 33, 34, 45, 54. Powerball of 7. Power play was 2. Good luck from everybody here at Good Morning San Antonio.
Good morning. Coming up here on GMA, that Category 4 hurricane Fiona is on the move, and it's closing in on Bermuda. By tomorrow morning, we'll be seeing impacts there, and then eventually to Canada this weekend. Plus, another storm trying to take shape eventually in the Western Caribbean and perhaps in the Gulf of Mexico. We'll be tracking that. And then the breaking news overnight, the latest on the major setback for former President Trump. The battle over those Mar-a-Lago documents and Donald Trump firing back after being hit with a $250 million civil lawsuit. We're going to have that and so much more right here on GMA.
We're in the final days of registration for the 9th annual Head for the Cure. The 5K run and walk raises awareness and money to fight brain cancer. The race is this Saturday morning. You can register right now. Find a link over at KSAT.com. Ahead in the next hour, GMSA, the search continues for 2 men involved in an armed robbery on San Antonio's north side. What SAPD is saying about those suspects. TransGuide right now, all quiet on the downtown and suburban front. We're taking a live look at I-10 at Loop 410 right now. Things are looking great. A far cry from yesterday morning. Stephen Cavazos will have a live update coming up.
San Antonio police need your help, and you could earn up to $5,000. We'll tell you how coming up on GMSA.
I'm ABC's M1 in Washington. President Biden and Ukrainian President Zelensky addressing the United Nations after the latest threats from Russian President Vladimir Putin about the war. The details coming up.
This morning, a scary scene for 2 San Antonio police officers after a driver crashed into their patrol unit. We'll have the latest on their condition and if any arrests have been made.
And taking a look outside with live cam, the San Antonio summer does not want to give up. No, no, no. Right now, though, we're at 71 degrees.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And a good morning to you. It is Thursday, September 22nd.
Thanks for joining us. We hope you've had a wonderful week, and we hope that you're mentally excited for fall, just to know that it's going to happen later today.
We crossed that threshold this evening. Mike Osterage is here with more. I'd say happy fall, but we really can't celebrate yet, can we?
No, not till 8 o'clock.
Not till 8 o'clock.
Yeah, so,
okay.
And once again, Steph is doing her best just to, kind of make us forget about the fact that, it's just blisteringly hot out there and going to be later on today. Actually, it's not bad this morning. Got a lot of clear skies out there. 71 right now in town. We're still about 3 degrees or so above normal, but down to 60 in Comfort, 63 Bernie Stage, mid 60s, low 60s parts of the hill country. And humidity has actually dropped a little bit. Everybody's down in the 60s right now for dew point temperatures, which a couple of spots at that threshold of 60, Kerrville and close to it in Hondo. So yes, slightly more comfortable. And with that dry air, that's what allows things to heat up very, very quickly. It doesn't take as much energy to heat up the drier air, and that's why those temperatures are going to be just skyrocketing later on today. Mold, pigweed, ragweed, all on the low side. Updated count's going to come out in the next couple of hours. And just after sunrise will be right around 73 degrees, then warm up, like I said, very quickly, already up to 92 by noon. Normal high being 89, so well above that, and then just keep going from there. And we're going to make it up into the upper 90s today, 99 to be exact. The record is 101, so we're not going to be touching that today. But tomorrow looks like we're going to be tying a record with another 99. Will that last into the weekend? Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority haven't had much going on this morning.
Yeah, it's been a pretty easy morning, I'd say, Mike. Let's get a look here. 410 at State Highway 151 over on the west side of San Antonio. You can see, though, the commute is getting a little bit busier out there, and 410 is one of those spots where we will see traffic really slow down, especially there along State Highway 151. So I wouldn't say you have to rush out the door, but just if you can, maybe leave a little bit earlier if your commute takes you through there. And that's because we are seeing that traffic is getting busy out there. Again, this is 410 there at State Highway 151 over near the west side of San Antonio. An area we'll watch closely, but thankfully we've been watching these maps and it's been quiet all morning long. You can see, though, the road closures. And as I mentioned, we're going to always talk about those road closures as long as it stays quiet out there. But if you're going to be traveling into San Antonio, just plan your commute and make sure that you give yourself that time. 28 minutes right now. I would say it's still pretty pleasant if you're traveling on 37 northbound from Pleasanton. Usual drive time, Highway 90 eastbound from Castroville, about 30 minutes. And that arrival from Lytle looks like about 16 minutes at this point. And if you're familiar with our format, these are the usual times that we see around 6:03 this morning. So just give yourself that time. No major delays yet, but traffic is definitely picking up in certain areas. We'll watch the roads closely, have those updates for you coming up here on GMSA. Mark, Steph.
Thank you, Stephen. It's been almost 2 weeks and San Antonio police are still looking for two men they believe stole money from a gas station.
That's right. This happened on the north side. Camelia Juarez joins us now from the Circle K on Blanco near Sir Winston. Camelia, what do we know so far?
Good morning, Mark and Stephanie. San Antonio police tell us that the two men that they're looking for walked into this convenience store with weapons. Then they threatened the clerk before taking off. Officers believe these are the two suspects involved. The robbery happened back on September 9th. Police say one of the suspects walked into the store with a gun and the other with a wooden dagger. Once inside, they threatened to hurt the store clerk and demanded all of the money from the cash register before they took off. So far, no arrests have been made in this case. And if you have any information that could lead to an arrest, you could receive a reward up to $5,000. If you just call the number on your screen, that number is 210-224-STOP. Reporting on the city's north side, Camelia Juarez, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Camelia. New this morning, San Antonio police say two officers are okay after the vehicle was rammed by a suspect driving a vehicle overnight. Happened around 10:30 at the intersection of Cerralvo and Couples on the west side. SAPD says a street crimes unit was running a plate of a stolen vehicle on Guadalupe when the driver rammed the unit and drove off. The officers followed the suspect until they eventually crashed into a vehicle at an intersection. Two people inside that white vehicle had to be cut out by firefighters and were taken to a hospital. The suspect was also taken to a hospital. The two officers were checked out by EMS.
We now know the name of a woman whose body was found in a ditch in Live Oak. She has been identified as 50-year-old Laura Braseno. Now, that's according to the Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office. And as of right now, her cause of death is still pending. Her body was found on Monday afternoon in a ditch near Judson and Topperwine. Live Oak police say Braseno had no identifying information on her, just several tattoos.
6:06 now to the war in Ukraine. President Biden coming before world leaders to criticize Russian President Vladimir Putin and his 7-month-long invasion of Ukraine.
Biden's UN speech was fueled by Putin's latest threat of a nuclear response, despite repeated warnings from the U.S. and NATO.
ABC's M. Nguyen has the latest.
Good morning. In Biden's speech before the UN, he blamed Russia for war crimes and pledged to stand unwaveringly behind Ukraine.
President Joe Biden taking to the world stage to forcefully condemn Russian President Vladimir Putin and his war in Ukraine.
This war is about extinguishing Ukraine's right to exist as a state, plain and simple. that should make your blood run cold.
Biden rallying the United Nations to continue to support Ukraine following a rare address by Putin. After several setbacks in Ukraine, Putin making a veiled threat that Russia is willing to use nuclear weapons despite repeated warnings against that escalation from Biden and other Western leaders.
He wants to scare the world. He wants the world to think he's a madman. Don't push me or I'll use nuclear weapons.
The Russian leader also ordering a partial mobilization of forces, calling up as many as 300,000 reservists to the war, a clear sign that things are not going well.
I think it's the first time he's had to publicly admit that he's losing the war.
And Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky also addressing the UN by video, demanding a just punishment for Russia, saying Russia should be stripped of its veto power on the UN Security Council.
Russia should pay for this war.
The UN Security Council is holding a meeting later this morning focused on the accountability in Ukraine. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is expected to speak. Em Nguyen, ABC News, Washington.
Interest rates are heading up again after the Fed gave a key rate another 0.75% boost in an effort to cool inflation. Several of your bills may be going higher too. Experts say the first place you may see it is on your credit card statements as rates rise. Oil prices rising a bit today after slipping following the Fed's interest rate boost. Benchmark oil prices fell to nearly a 2-year low amid worries that higher interest rates may push global economies into recessions.
2 tech giants are reportedly cutting staff with growth now slowing down. The Wall Street Journal reports Google and Facebook's parent Meta are both looking to slash costs. Now they're reorganizing departments and urging some workers to apply for other roles in the company. Meta says it's developing optional user controls for Instagram to help protect users from unwanted and inappropriate contact, including messages in their DMs. Now, the tools are still in the early stages of development and have yet to enter the testing phase.
Walmart gearing up for the holiday rush with plans to hire about 40,000 people, most of them seasonal workers. This time last year, Walmart was looking for about 150,000 people.
And happening today, Edgewood ISD is hosting a job fair. They are looking to fill positions in the Edgewood Police Department. Now, this is happening this afternoon from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Edgewood Performing Arts Theater off of Lance Street. Now, open positions come with police certification stipends, a starting pay of $21 an hour for police officers, and employees can access the Employee Health Clinic with a zero copay per visit.
609, 71 degrees.
And coming up today on GMSA at 9, we're talking about our upcoming KSAT community event next month, Light the Night.
It's a chance to raise money and show support for those affected by blood cancers. Plus, we're getting ready for the Big Give kickoff this evening.
And a local university is starting a new program where they will provide music lessons to veterans. Those stories and more today on GMSA at 9.
Well, straight ahead here on GMSA, there could be new breathalyzer technology coming to nearly all new manufactured vehicles. We'll explain how experts hope it will lead to fewer drunk driving deaths.
And taking a look outside with live cam, enjoy the 71 degrees for now. We're going to heat up to close to 100 today. We'll be right back. And welcome back at 6:13. We turn now to the new push to install alcohol detection devices similar to breathalyzers in all new cars due to the rising number of deadly drunk driving crashes.
It is technology that could be coming a little down the road. ABC's Andrea Fujii explains.
This morning, a new debate in the world of auto safety. The National Transportation Safety Board is recommending all manufacturers equip new cars with monitoring technology that can stop drunk drivers from getting on the road.
I look at this technology as it's part of this progression we see in the car technology going to the electrical vehicles, having, self-driving cars. Now we're talking about safety.
The latest figures show 1 in 3 traffic fatalities is caused by a drunk driver, up 14% from 2019. In Fresno County, California last year, 9 people were killed, including 7 children, when a drunk driver crashed head-on into their truck.
We have the technology to prevent that crash and other crashes that happen day in and day out.
So how would the technology work? Experts say the car itself could be designed not to hassle or distract a sober driver. Instead, automatic sensors would stop only an impaired driver from taking off.
especially when you're starting the car. This is the first time it's going to just, try to get a sense of your breath.
Volvo was already working on these alcohol detection systems, which also include in-car cameras that can monitor the driver for intoxication. The NTSB does not have the authority to require manufacturers to install this technology. It can only pressure automakers and other government agencies to pave the way for new rules of the road.
As Andrea Fujii reporting.
And the time now is 6:15. Let's go ahead and check back with our Stephen Cavazos.
Yeah, I saw some flashing lights out over here, guys. Let's get a look at 410 at Broadway. Not too far from the airport. Very dark out there still. And you can see, though, those flashing lights appear to be off in the shoulder lane. And that looks like a TxDOT Hero truck. Traffic's moving along just fine, though. You can see, though, from that shot, it's getting busy out there. So you have to watch out. It's dark out there. And you have to make sure you watch for those TxDOT Hero crews. They're working to help that driver out because what we're looking at is a stalled vehicle. Reported right there in the eastbound lanes of 410, not too far from Broadway. Thankfully, though, although we are seeing more traffic building in the eastbound lanes, we're really not seeing any red developing, which would indicate a slowdown. So some good news out there, but just watch out for that. If you're traveling in the westbound lanes, make sure that you just keep your focus on the roads as you head to the airport. But we'll give you a wide look at the map. And again, it's just been quiet throughout the entire morning. We've talked about some active construction, but thankfully nothing is going to hinder the commute this early in the morning. However, as a friendly reminder, check those vehicles before you get out on the roadways. And if you see a stalled vehicle like this, follow the rules of the road. That's move over or slow down, guys.
Sounds good, Stephen. Hey, Stephen, do you remember the movie Beverly Hills Cop? Remember hearing about that?
Yes.
Okay, it's been a while, right, of a hit movie. Variety is reporting this morning that there is a sequel coming out. Eddie Murphy is rejoining co-stars Judge Reinhold, John Ashton, Paul Reiser, and Bronson Pinchot for a sequel that will be airing on Netflix called Beverly Hills Cop. Axel Foley.
Wow. I wonder if Lisa Eilbacher is going to be in it. She was the gal that worked for
at the gallery.
Victor Maitland at the gallery. Yeah,
I remember
that's like
Beverly
40 years
Hills,
ago.
Troop Beverly Hills with Shelley Long. I've seen that one.
Yes, that's also about the same time period.
Okay.
Also a good movie.
All right. Yeah.
Bronson Pinchot. He at the art gallery. That was great.
He's a scene stealer.
Yeah.
All right, so Beverly, how many have there been? Just two?
It says here that would be
the
fourth installment in the hit action comedy franchise.
I don't remember the third one.
I don't think so.
I hadn't either.
All right, heading out for the bus this morning. In the Hill Country, you may want a light little sweatshirt for the kid. You won't need it this afternoon by any means. We're going to be at 70 here in town. We're at 71 as of right now. And then we're going to be gaining about 30 degrees throughout the course of the day, which is a good indication. Got some really, really dry air out there. All right, here's a look. If you're going to be taking Fido or Mary Jane, Casey, or Catalina for a walk later on today, make sure you watch that pavement because it is going to be very, very hot, even though the humidity is going to be down somewhat. And if you'd like to submit, it's a great little picture. I wonder if they were just posing or if they had a treat and kind of, going here. Could be. Yeah, snap the QR code or just download the app and you can add some KSAT Connect pictures there. So great shot. Thank you very much for that one. All right, we've got a lot of clear skies out there right now. Yesterday, 95. Humidity kind of hung in a little bit in the early afternoon. Finally dropped down, but we were going for 97. That's why we stayed just 2 degrees below that. But we did have a lot of mid and upper 90s around the area. 98 in New Braunfels yesterday. And again, going for 99 later on today. And it's going to be upper 90s all around the metropolitan area. This morning, we will warm up very quickly as that sun comes up. So we're at 70 right now. Add 20 or more to that already by noon. We'll make it up to 92 at noon, already 3 degrees above the normal high temperature. And then we top off, like I said, at 99 later on today. So here's the high, which is sitting right on top of us. This is sort of deja vu to what we had over the summer. This thing just did not move, pushed down in the atmosphere. Didn't allow anything to develop as far as any rain. That's going to be the situation today as well as tomorrow. Then we go into the weekend. It kind of scooches to the west ever so slightly. And see this little wave right there, those wind lines? A little easterly wave is going to come in here from the Gulf of Mexico. It's not really going to do a heck of a lot, if anything, but it will help to shave a few degrees off temperatures. So we'll be in the mid 90s as opposed to the upper 90s, and it's still going to be way above normal. That'll be the case on Sunday as well. And then by Monday, the high and then that low up there, and not really too jazzed about this. There is a front that's going to be sliding in through the area later in the day on Monday. That will at least shave off some humidity, knock a few more degrees off temperatures, but we're still going to be on the above normal side. So right around 90, normal high, upper 80s. Close to it. Then we're going to start to watch that low. Now, this is the disturbance over there just right around the Lesser Antilles, way in the eastern Caribbean. As of right now, it's going to move across the Caribbean and its forecast into the Gulf of Mexico, and sort of a shoving match, if you will, between that high and this low, which that high is going to be keeping it over there in the central to eastern portion of the Gulf Coast. So as of right now, it's not going to be affecting us at all. It's definitely something we have to watch over the course of about the next week. 92 degrees at noon today. Sunny skies. High temperature is going to make it up to 99. The record today is 101, so it'll be close. And then the record tomorrow is 99, which is the forecast high temperature for the first full day of fall. Yeah, those two statements just don't go together. 99 and the first day of fall. Anyway, mid-90s over the weekend and then low 90s next week with that front moving through here. I say that with a question because it will shave a couple of degrees off, but again, we're still going to be a little above.
We get it. September, you're hesitant to use the actual word.
Yeah, I mean, technically it is, but
yes.
Yeah, that'll make us feel better just knowing it's supposed to be fall.
And then you can crank down the air conditioning, put on a sweater inside. So,
yeah, and drink hot tea inside. I guess.
621, 70 degrees.
And still ahead on GMSA, an important warning for pet owners. Authorities across the country are seeing a spike in dog nappings. That's coming up next in your GMA First Look.
Bad vibes started. This is Activia Plus. CDs ain't no need to think. Head over heels, get A+ feels. Activia Plus with nutrients to help support your immune system. Start with Activia. Your gut is where it all begins.
When cold symptoms keep you up, try Vicks NyQuil Severe. Just one dose starts to relieve 9 of your worst cold and flu symptoms to help take you from 9 to 9. For max strength nighttime relief, NyQuil Severe. The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, sore throat, best sleep with a cold medicine.
With less moderate to severe eczema, why hide your skin if you can help heal your skin from within?
Hide my skin? Not me.
Dupixent helps keep you one step ahead of eczema with clearer skin and less itch. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor. Ask your doctor about Dupixent.
In this morning's GMA First Look, dog nappings are on the rise. Watch. This is the moment a French bulldog named Milani was stolen from a California home by masked intruders in broad daylight. The armed suspect seen here running out the door with the Frenchie in hand, rushing to get into this silver Chevy Malibu and driving off.
The victim came home, interrupted the burglary. They attacked her. They hit her in the face with the gun. And then they kicked her.
And this isn't an isolated incident. Just last week, a litter of French bulldog puppies was stolen from a home by a pair of men in ski masks. The LAPD confirming to ABC that case is still open and active. And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll tell you what experts say is the key to keeping your pets safe from this disturbing new trend. With your GMA First Look, I'm Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
And the time now, 6:25 and 70 degrees for now.
Overnight, a deadly earthquake has left at least one person dead near Mexico City. We will take a look at the aftermath.
And here at home, one person is dead after he was hit by a vehicle while riding his bike. We'll tell you everything police know so far.
Scanning the roads with TransGuide right now. I-10 at De Zavala. Traffic is building. There's I-35 at Benz Engelman. Stephen Cavazos will have a live update coming up at the bottom of the hour.
As many as 5 people are hurt after 2 separate crashes, and police say one driver is to blame. I'm Katrina Weber. I'll tell you why. They also say one of those crashes was no accident.
Are you looking to save some money? We've got some money-saving tips for you. We'll tell you why September is a great time to use them.
And I'm looking for fall weather. I'm not going to see it, though. For right now, it's 70 degrees out there.
I'm thinking of the song, You Can't Always Get What You Want.
Right.
Today. Right. Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, September 22nd.
Thanks for joining us. Hope you've had a wonderful week. So true. At least it'll, I guess, officially be fall later today, but, you know.
I always have to check the date because some of these days start to blend together, especially with the weather like this, Mike Osterhage.
Yeah, it is the 22nd of September already. Fall begins officially tonight, just after 8 o'clock. And on paper, yes. In reality, no. We have a fairly pleasant morning, though. We're maybe starting to see the glow of the sunrise. Not going to be coming up for almost another hour or so, just close to 7:30. But 71 degrees right now in town. 59 now in Comfort, 63 Bernie Stage, much drier air, obviously out there in portions of the hill country, and even Valverde with a dew point of 61. That's really nice. We're at 68 here in town, so it's okay. Beats last week, a couple of weeks ago, we had those, or even a couple of days ago, we had those dew points up in the mid 70s. Remember that on Saturday, especially. Mold, pigweed, ragweed are all on the very low side, mostly clear. Nice this morning. Plenty of sunshine. This is going to be today and tomorrow hot. Upper 90s, 99 specifically today as well as tomorrow. Record today is 101. Record tomorrow is 99. So we got a good shot at definitely tying the record tomorrow, and got a good shot at tying the all-time triple-digit record as well. Remember, we're standing at 58 days. We hit that early in August, and so the record is 59 days, which was set back in 2009, so it's going to be a real close call today as well as tomorrow. Weekend, mostly sunny, mid-90s, and we'll take a couple of more degrees off temperatures and then shave off a few more next week. There is actually a cool front moving on through here by the first of the week later on Monday. It'll knock temperatures down another couple of degrees, get rid of some of the humidity, but no, this is no fall weather as of yet. No sweaters, no nothing yet. Maybe a light sweatshirt in the hill country this morning just because of some of those cooler temperatures, but boy, you won't need it this afternoon. Details on the weekend coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority. Still all quiet over there?
Yeah,
Stephen?
Quiet over here, but I'm still going to go pumpkin picking, Mike. Okay. Let's get a look right now at the roads. 281 at Jones-Maltzberger. It's getting busy, but it's been pretty quiet throughout the morning. You can see there at TransGuide, we do have a lot more folks that are making their way out the door and getting out on the roadways this morning. 90 at Nogalitos. This is one of those busy spots where we see a lot of folks making their way into the Alamo City from Castroville. But I wouldn't say that we're seeing a slowdown there just yet, but that will probably change in the next 10 minutes or so. Been watching these trees there at US 90 at Couples. Not sure exactly what is going on there, but thankfully nothing major. But we did have a stalled vehicle here at 410 eastbound at Broadway Street. That wasn't really causing an issue here in the eastbound lanes, but you can see there, you just want to watch out. I'm not seeing flashing lights anymore, so that may mean those Texas Hero trucks were able to clear out and get that driver the help that they needed. But let's go and give you a wide look at the map, and you can see no major slowdowns are reported just yet. But I do want to bring your attention to these travel times. Although we're seeing pretty much things are in the green. 28 minutes, though. We're seeing a little bit of yellow already building on 281 southbound heading in from Bulverde, so expect a little bit of a delay, but I wouldn't say it's anything too crazy to worry about. But we take it back here to TransGuide. You can see it is getting busy out there. We'll watch roads closely and have those updates in the next few minutes. Mark, Steph?
Thank you, Stephen. A driver's attempt to run from police has ended with some trouble for him and pain for several other people. Officers tell us that man who was in a stolen car caused 2 different crashes.
They finally caught up with them near the intersection of Serralvo and Couples. Katrina Weber is there now with a live report. Katrina, how many people were hurt?
Well, we know that 3 went to the hospital, but as many as 5 were hurt. That's if you include 2 police officers who had to be checked out for injuries at the scene. Now, the 2 people who definitely were hurt, it seems, were in the wrong place at the wrong time, sitting in a car at Serralvo and Couples when it was hit by one driven by the suspect. Police say fire crews had to free those 2 people from the wreckage. Officers in a different area had noticed the suspect was in a stolen car around 10:30 last night. They say he rammed their car, then took off, and that's when he made his way to this intersection where he crashed into that other car. The 2 people in the other car and the suspect all went to a hospital for treatment, and it looks like the next stop for the suspect may be jail. It appears he faces a whole list of charges. Reporting live on the west side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Katrina. A man is dead this morning after he was hit by a driver on the city's west side. It happened around 9 last night near Culebra and Arcadia Creek. That's where police say a man was riding his bike when he was hit. He died at the scene. The driver who hit him did not stop to help. And so far, as we know, no arrests have been made.
And one man is in the hospital and the other is on the run after a stabbing incident on the city's south side. It began around 11 last night near Aldama and South General McMullen. Officers tell us that an argument between two men led to that stabbing. One of them took off from the scene and the other was taken to the hospital where he is expected to be okay.
This morning, San Antonio police and Crime Stoppers asking for your help finding the people involved in a convenience store robbery on the north side of town. Happened about 2 weeks ago on September 9th at the Circle K at Blanco and Sir Winston, not too far from Churchill High School. That's where officers say two men walked into the store, one with a gun, the other with a wooden dagger, and demanded money from the cash registers. If you have any information that can lead police to the suspects, call 210-224-STOP. You could get a reward of up to $5,000.
There are calls for change at Jefferson High School. That's after parents rushed the campus during a lockdown earlier this week. District leaders say they have learned from the experience, and SAISD Superintendent Jaime Aquino and the district police chief say they are pleased with the way the protocols were executed that day. However, they say they want to improve communication with parents. One mother tells us a school phone policy is to blame for some of the problems. The policy at the school requires students to turn their cell phones in at the start of every class.
I couldn't get a hold of him, and if it was an active shooter, what if he was one that got shot and I wouldn't have known? Like, it's not okay. It's not okay to take their phones away. It's not, especially what happened at Robb Elementary. It's not okay. It's just.
And the superintendent says the policy is decided on by school staff and parents.
This morning, U.S. Department of Homeland Security is seeing an increase in migrants seeking asylum from Venezuela, Cuba, and Nicaragua. Data released from DHS this week shows a 175% increase compared to August of last year. We spoke with a political science expert from UTSA and an economics expert from Trinity University here in San Antonio. They say all this could be tied to current Biden administration policies as well as global inflation.
Mexico agreed to not allow migrants from Honduras, Venezuela, from El Salvador, and from Central America to come to the United States. But there's nothing in the agreement about Nicaragua, Cuba, and Venezuela.
Venezuela has had enormous inflation rates, thousands of percent. So people flee that kind of situation.
As of now, the Biden administration has not announced any plans to approach this influx differently compared to others in the past.
One person is dead this morning after a 6.8 magnitude earthquake struck Mexico in an area not far from Mexico City. This happened just 3 days after a 7.6 magnitude earthquake hit central Mexico, killing 2 people. Authorities in Mexico said the quake was felt throughout the state. You can read more about this on our website at KSAT.com. And a new legal setback for former President Trump. An appeals court has just handed the Justice Department a victory in the battle over documents seized at Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort.
The decision coming just hours after New York's Attorney General filed a $250 million lawsuit against Trump and his family in a separate case. And now the former president is responding.
Here's ABC's Andrew Dimbert.
A new legal setback for former President Trump. A federal appeals court is now allowing the Justice Department to continue looking at classified documents found at Mar-a-Lago as investigators consider whether to bring criminal charges against Trump for storing top-secret records at his Florida home. The court saying Trump has presented no evidence that he declassified those records, an argument he tried to make again on Fox News last night.
If you're the President of the United States, you can declassify just by saying it's declassified, even by thinking about it.
In a separate case, New York's Attorney General is now suing Trump, 3 of his children, and the Trump Organization, accusing them of, quote, staggering fraud. AG Letitia James claims they overstated the value of nearly every major property Trump owns to get more favorable loans and other advantages to enrich themselves.
It is a tale of 2 justice systems, one for everyday working people and one for the elite.
According to the lawsuit, Trump valued Mar-a-Lago at $739 million, nearly 10 times higher than what it's really worth, $75 million. And the lawsuit claims Trump valued his New York City apartment at $327 million. James says it's worth only 1/3 of that amount. The Attorney General is seeking $250 million from the Trumps and wants to ban them from ever doing business in New York again.
It could be devastating for the Trump organization and the Trump family members.
But critics of New York's Attorney General say she's overreaching with this lawsuit.
It's hard for me not to conclude it's a political hit job.
This is a civil lawsuit, not a criminal one, but James says she found evidence of potential bank fraud, so she sent her findings to federal prosecutors and the Manhattan DA. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
Happening today, peripheral artery disease is something thousands deal with every day, and several organizations in San Antonio are hoping to help. The City of San Antonio Metropolitan Health District and Department of Human Services is partnering with several other organizations to host a resource fair and free screening. So this is for peripheral artery disease and social determinants of health. The citywide event is happening from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. today at 7 different districts across the town. No pre-registration is required. We have the list of those locations on our website at KSAT.com.
Check it out. And a reminder, registration is winding down for the 9th annual Head for the Cure. This 5K run or walk raises awareness and money to fight brain cancer. The race is this Saturday. You can register right now over at KSAT.com. Don't forget to use the code KSAT to get $5 off the registration fee.
Time now, 6:41 and 70 degrees for now.
From student loans to holiday travel, this month is a good time to start thinking about the end of the financial year. Ahead on the morning show, some simple money moves you can make now to have a good end to 2022.
And welcome back at 6:44. September is a good time to start thinking about how you're going to end the year financially.
Making smart money decisions now can save you some cash in the long run. First, you have student loan debt. Start off by signing up for student loan forgiveness and forbearance alerts. You can find that at ed.gov.
And are you planning on taking a trip for the Thanksgiving holiday? Well, travel experts say booking your trips in September can save you around $250. On the flip side, waiting until October to book your November trip could cost you around $50 more. And waiting until November could end up costing you $200 more.
Another September money move to consider if you're looking to trade in your used vehicle for something new. Experts say now might be the best time to do it. Used vehicle prices have started to decline slightly, so now may be the best time to maximize the value of your pre-owned vehicle.
And from this camera angle, things are looking good out there at Loop 410. Let's go ahead and check in with Stephen Cavazos.
Yeah, I just switched it over to this camera. In fact, there were some flashing lights out there. You can see our friends at TransGuide. They're moving the camera around. I just got off the phone with them. We did notice some flashing lights in that direction. That's because we saw a stalled vehicle, but now we have a pretty sunrise in the back. So I would say that's a lot better than what we were seeing a little bit earlier. But let's take it to the map, because that stall was actually reported right here at 410 eastbound at Zarzamora. But thankfully, it wasn't really causing any issues, and it does look like that issue has already resolved. However, stalls seem to be the trending problem right now. We have another one here at I-35 southbound at Somerset. It's not causing issues either, but as a reminder, check those vehicles before you get out on the roadway. We've been seeing a few more stalls than normal, so that's not a good sign. But as we give you a wide look at the map, things seem to be moving along just pretty normal this morning. Of course, US 90, those eastbound lanes are already seeing some heavy traffic buildup out there, because that's due to the travels that are taking people in from Castroville to the Alamo City. So expect to slow down, but we'll see exactly what is going to be the better solution for you if you have to head out on the roads in the next few minutes. But back here at 410 at Morrison, things are moving very nicely, and that sunrise is pretty nice as well.
Perfect. Picture perfect.
Yeah, it looks good out there.
Hey, Mike Osterhage, I took an astronomy class in college, and it was cool. Even with simple telescopes, it is truly amazing what you can spot out there on a clear night.
Case in point, Jupiter and Saturn. Now, somebody's got a pretty darn good telescope, but yeah, those are the visible planets here without any, big high-tech telescopes. But yeah, absolutely fantastic. Can't wait to go back out there tonight to look at the planets, and it's going to be good viewing for all the celestial bodies. The moon is just at a little waning crescent, so that's not going to light up the sky that much more. But yeah, absolutely fantastic. Cool pictures. Thank you very much for that. And of course, you can download the app or just click on that QR code if you want to send us some of your KSAT KSAT Connect pictures. All right, speaking of beautiful pictures, look at this one. Looking off to the east there, that nice glow of the sunrise, and sun's going to be coming up right about there, just in line with 410. So if you're going to be heading eastbound, yeah, you'll definitely need some sunglasses. 59 right now in Comfort, 65 Rio Medina, 64 in Valverde. Fairly comfortable out there, especially obviously toward the hill country. And here's the reason why. You've got these dew points, measure moisture in the atmosphere. When you get down to 60 or below that, it's really comfortable. Low 60s, that's pretty nice, and even 59 right now at Bandera. And throughout the rest of the morning, plenty of clear skies, and then temperatures with this dry air are really going to start to heat up once that sun gets up a little bit higher in the sky, and we'll already gain 20 degrees or more by noon, 92 at noon. And then we'll top off at 99 later on today, just 2 degrees away from the record. All right, there is Fiona, still a Category 4 storm, and as you can see, a fairly well-defined eye moving in toward Bermuda. Probably not a direct hit on Bermuda, but close enough. And then we're watching this batch of clouds right there, right around the Lesser Antilles, just off the coast of South America. Computer models are already starting to pick that up, take it in through the Caribbean over the weekend, and by the first of the week moves into the Gulf of Mexico. And as of right now, most everything is taking it pretty much off to the kind of eastern half of the Gulf Coast states. Obviously, got to keep an eye on that thing, but that high is pretty much going to be our save. I mean, we could use some rain from that tropical system, but we don't want a whole big tropical system sitting on top of us. But as of right now, that's keeping us rain-free, sitting on top of things, and that's why it's so hot as well, pushing down in the atmosphere. Then by the weekend, a little wave tries to come in here from the Gulf, so that will help to shave a few degrees off temperatures, pushing that high off there to the west is slightly more. Front's going to come through here, not a big one, not the big doozy cold front for fall we always look forward to, but that'll at least shave a few more degrees off temperatures going into the middle of next week, and drier air. And then there's that low that we watch coming into the Gulf of Mexico. But again, I think that high is going to help to kind of be a barricade against that low moving in right on top of us. Although, again, we could use some rain from it, but it doesn't look like it right now. 92 at noon, sunny skies. High temperature today, 99. It is going to be a sizzler for the last full day of summer, or not. Yesterday was last full day because fall begins tonight at 8 o'clock. And sure isn't going to feel like it. 99 again tomorrow to ring in autumn. Mid-90s over the weekend, low 90s next week. Some drier air coming in here, so more pleasant mornings, a little bit more tolerable in the afternoon, but nothing yet as far as
nothing yet.
Real cold air.
Still gonna be a good day overall. Real quick shout out to a GMSA viewer. Her name's Beverly Allison. Today is Beverly's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yeah, thanks for watching. Right now, 650, 70 degrees.
Healing through floral arrangements. I'm Sarah Costa. Coming up tomorrow on GMSA, we introduce you to a local woman who lost her 5-month-old child, what inspired her to help other grieving families, and how she found hope again.
And a quick look outside with live cam. Beautiful shot out there. It's really pretty with that sunrise. 70 degrees for now. We'll be right back.
Good morning. Coming up here on GMA, that Category 4 hurricane Fiona is on the move, and it's closing in on Bermuda. By tomorrow morning, we'll be seeing impacts there, and then eventually to Canada this weekend. Plus, another storm trying to take shape eventually in the Western Caribbean and perhaps in the Gulf of Mexico. We'll be tracking that. And then the breaking news overnight, the latest on the major setback for former President Trump. The battle over those Mar-A-Lago documents, and Donald Trump firing back after being hit with a $250 million civil lawsuit. We're going to have that and so much more right here on GMA.
Coming up today on GMSA at 9, we're talking about our upcoming KSAT community event next month, Light the Night.
It's a chance to raise money and show support for those affected by blood cancer. Plus, we're getting ready for the big give kicking off this evening.
And a local university is starting a new program where they'll provide music lessons to veterans. Those stories and more today on GMSA at 9.
Go ahead and check back with Stephen Cavazos for one last look at traffic.
Yeah, flashing lights back at the same location we already talked about, 410 at Broadway. Looks like it could be a different issue, but it does appear that we have a TxDOT Hero truck out there. Very dark, but traffic is definitely getting busy out there. So we'll get a closer look and find out exactly what that issue is. But we are already seeing some problems pick up here. This is off I-35 northbound at Walnut Avenue, just inside New Braunfels, not far from Loop 337. Watch out for that crash there, but it doesn't appear it's causing any issues. And another incident popping up here off I-10 eastbound at Roland Avenue, Mike.
Thank you, sir. Absolutely spectacular sunrise on tap. Almost looks like something out of a sci-fi movie, kind of a UFO over there. 70 right now in town, 59 comfort. Kind of pleasant morning. It's going to heat up quite a bit. We'll gain 20 by noon and then up to 99 for a high temperature later on today. Same thing tomorrow for the first full day of fall. Fall begins, of course, this evening. You're not going to feel like it. Mid-90s over the weekend, low 90s next week.
Happy almost autumn.
That's right. We could say happy fall, y'all, tomorrow. You guys have a wonderful day, and we'll see you back here at 9.
Good Morning America is next.